Hey creators, it's me, Ms.Viki, here live on the set of Spontaneous Creations here in Winthrop, Massachusetts. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that Spontaneous Creations is for entertainment purposes only. That means just watching. Yes. Please do not try any of the art activities or challenges or that is what projects at home, okay? And besides, all of those things should be supervised by an adult anyways. Okay, so just watch. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Hey creators, welcome to another episode of Spontaneous Creations. I'm so glad you're here with me today for another episode of Spontaneous Creations, prepping for the party. Have you been missing hanging out with your friends and going to birthday parties and anniversary parties and all sorts of parties? Well, I have too. And that's why these next few episodes are dedicated to having a little fun around creating concepts and ideas that have to do with parties. Okay, I wonder what's in that box. I bet there's the next activity. Let's see. Ooh, you want to know what's in here? There is a switch, which you should be familiar with by now. Oh, yep, and there's two 3-volt batteries. So that would be 6 volts total. What else do we have? Of course, we have some LED lights, one of every color. This is different and interesting. Do you have any idea what this is? Can you guess? There's a few strips of it. That's right. If you said copper wire, you're right. So most of the wire you've been seeing on the show has been round and it's been encased in a coat of plastic, right? Well, this is a little different because this wire is flat and it is not encased. So if the wires cross, it'll stop the electricity from flowing. Whereas if these wires touch or cross at any point, so long as the metal is not crossed and the plastic is crossed, it will not stop the flow of energy going around and around. Okay, so this is flat wire. It's really cool. And it also has a backing to it that is sticky, so you have to peel it off. I won't do it now, but you peel it off and then you lay it down flat. So you can create a flat circuit. So we have some copper wire, or a lot of copper wire, it looks like. Oh, and we have an envelope, and it looks like a card. So today's activity will be creating a card that lights up. How cool is that, right? Well, let's get started with this activity and see what it's all about. We're not going to build our circuit and light yet. We're going to design our card first and decide what part's going to light up. But these other pieces are really important. So the wire is going to conduct the electricity to where we want to go to. So that'll be from the light to the battery, which will be in here, and the switch to turn it off and on. And so a battery provides you power to your circuit, basically. The top side is marked with a positive, and the edges of the battery are also positive, and the bottom side of the battery, so this is all positive and the edges are positive, and it's just the bottom that is negative. And just simply by touching any material that's conductive, like for instance this copper wire, to the bottom or to the negative side of the battery, automatically creates an electrical connection, which is really neat. Now, something that doesn't conduct energy, like let's say this rubbery glue to the bottom, will not create an electrical connection. So this is also important to know. You want to store your batteries in separate containers, not in metal. I happen to have it in metal because if the negative side is touching the metal, it'll already create that conductive electrical connection that I was talking about, and it'll drain the energy out of your battery. So that's why a lot of times batteries come in plastic or in cardboard and plastic. And so when you're storing it, don't store it in metal, store it in cardboard. Perfect. This is really cool. We have some LED lights, and one side of the wire is long and the other side is short. And that is to remind you that one side is for positive energy and the other side is for the negative flow of the energy. And so I believe the long side is positive and the short side is negative. And did you know what LED stands for? It stands for light emitting diode. Let's also talk about this copper wire. So copper foil tape is made up of copper metal, so it's also an amazing conductor for electricity. It's just like any metal wire. The cool thing about this is that it's an adhesive and it can stick to stuff. Copper tape is soft enough to cut, fold, tear, rip it, and then reattach it to each other. So copper tape's pretty. All right, let's get started by designing our card. And I like to always use a pencil because you can erase it and start over again. And just like we made the electrical birthday cake a few episodes ago, I thought it would be fun to make a card that has a birthday cake on it that lights up. We'll pretend it's for a birthday party. And so I'm just gonna start by sketching out where my LED light will be. And that's gonna be obviously at the top of the cake where the candle flame would be. And then I'm gonna draw the candle next. Sketching it out. I'm just doing some rough lines. Looks like I made a pretty big candle, which means I don't have a lot of room for a really big cake. So I might erase that and start over again. This time I think I will draw, now that I know what my idea is, this time I think I'm gonna draw what the cake will look like. It's gonna be a nice oval here. Bring a line down. Maybe I could draw it upside down so you can see it a little bit better. Draw a line down, another line down, vaguely attach it, make it look like a cylinder, and I'll pretend it's on a platter, some sort of platter. And, maybe I'll want some frosting waves on there. You can draw those different colors later on. Perfect. And then there we go. Now we have enough room for my candle. No, I'm not turning one, and my friend won't be turning one, but I'm just gonna put one candle. Now what might make this really fun is we could pretend it's an electrical cake and draw something that looks like a cord, or a big S cord coming out, as if it was being plugged into a wall circuit. And so I like to draw a plug as if you're gonna light it up. And I might end up putting, when we do the switch, I might end up putting the switch somewhere around here so that you literally use the switch to turn the birthday cake off and on. Okay. There we go. I'm ready to commit to this, so I think now I'll add some color, really design my cake a little bit more. I will make the flame yellow, maybe add a little orange in there. I'll write happy first. There we go. As if someone is turning one. Happy first birthday. All right. Now, is this 1-year-old going to be able to turn it on the cake? No, but the parents can, and maybe it'll be a big surprise when the cake lights up. So this is not a card where you're going to open it. This is going to be a card where you just pull it out and you turn on the switch and something happens. If you want to write anything extra, you can write it on the back before you get started. Or you could write it on the front, like happy first birthday, Oliver, or happy first birthday, Diana, or Dinah. Okay, so the next part we need to get ready for is making our circuit on the inside. Let's go. All right, let's get started by lighting an LED. So we'll use that tape, that connector tape that I was talking about, an LED light. And let's just test out where it's going to be. Let's say our electricity source is here, where that's going to be. So we know we're going to be putting that in there. And if I were to map out the tape, you don't want your wires to cross. So I have to make one side negative and attach to the negative part, and the other side positive. I'm going to cut that there. And then where's my LED light going to be? Oh, it looks like it's going to be somewhere around here. So I'm going to poke it in the middle and hope that pressed. Oh, it didn't really press all the way through. Maybe I will grab my trusty screwdriver that I always have here, and I'll dent in the card a little bit, and hopefully it made a dent all the way through to the other side. So I know where it did. It's going to be, so I have to make the light end up around here somewhere. Okay, so that means one part of the wiring has to come to here, somehow travel here, and then the other part of the wiring has to somehow go there. Let's see if something. It looks like I might need about that much copper tape here. And I may need about that much copper tape there. And let's not forget that this already has some amazing wires already attached to it. If we do want to do a switch, we wouldn't even have to use the copper tape necessarily. But I want to show you what it looks like with just a battery and the LED lights and how it lights up. And then we'll add a switch. Okay. So let's just say this is how we wanted it to be. So, all right. Oh, I did it finally. Ah. Copper tape is tricky, sticky and tricky. Okay, so I'm laying it down on the lines I drew. I'm going to draw a line. Now I need it to reach the battery. That's right. Okay, so which side is longer? Okay, so the positive side is here, so I'm going to put a plus on the positive side. The longer leg is there, and then the negative side is there. So that means the positive wire needs to attach to the top of the battery, and the negative wire needs to travel and be attached to the negative side of the battery. Okay, so we've got that part worked out. It's coming, yay! All right. Okay, that's going to be the negative part. So it's already attached there. Now we need to attach some wire. This is not going to be long enough, so we'll need to use a different piece, maybe this piece. So I'm just showing you what the circuit would look like with just the copper wire. And then we'll redo it, but we'll do it with, we'll do another version with the switch. Okay, now this is going to the positive side. Oops, the positive wire. Remember, if these wires cross, your circuit is going to be crossed, and then the light will not light up if your circuit is crossed like that. So do want to make sure your copper tape I'm foiled. I'm putting it on the positive side of the battery. And that's the negative side of the battery. I am not sure why my little trusty handy dandy light is not working. It technically should light up. Huh. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if you don't succeed at first, try again. I think it just wasn't sticking properly. Okay, so technically our circuit is correct. We have the negative side, or the bottom side of the battery, attached there, and we have the positive side attached to the top. So there's your card. And if you press on it, did you see that candle light up? I don't know if you can see it from there. It might not be dark enough. I'm going to come a little closer and try to show you a little closer. You see your candle light up? Now that's the hard way to create a circuit. So, you know, it's flowing in a circular motion. Luckily, we have something that might work a lot better, and that's the switch, which will keep the battery steady and the flow better. So let's just try attaching that directly to our LED light. And this time we'll use a different color light. So I'm ripping this up. I showed you how to create a circuit with the copper tape. If you wanted to have a press card where you press on it and it lights up, which is what we just did. And now we're going to have one with a switch. Again, we want to make sure our LED light is right at the top where we had made a marking. And remember that the longer wire is positive, so we'll keep that on the positive side where I already put a plus sign. And the shorter one is negative. Now, how are we going to get this to stand still? I like to use my trusty old piece of tape. I only need a really little piece just to keep it there while we work. Okay, that's nice and still. Again, here's our switch. Looks like we don't need any copper wire to help us out. We just need to attach, put our energy source in to the switch. One side has a negative side, so the negative's going down on this one. Positive's facing up, and on the other side, the positive is on the bottom and the negative is facing up. And each battery is always marked with a plus sign on the positive sign and then nothing usually on the negative side. Close that up. That's our switch. Our switch is off at the moment, but turn it on so we know when this works. And remember I'm placing it where the plug is. And we'll tape that in. Remember, and I always say this, it does not need to be perfect when you create these things. And the love that you put into it, and time and energy. Okay, and remember, one side of the wire is positive and one side is negative. The side with, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the side with these little dashes in it's kind of hard to see, is the positive side. So that will be taped down to this part of our card, this part of our wire. I'm going to tape that in place. And then this side shall go to our negative side. Sorry. Yeah, that's working, isn't it? All right, so now we know our switch is working, and this is going to be too puffy, so we'll tape those wires down as well. Little circuitry here. Okay, the inside of our card is complete. Now I'm going to seal our card up a bit with some more masking tape. You could also put a little glue if you wanted to. There's also, you know what? We could seal up our card with double-sided sticky tape. That's always fun. This will work a whole lot better, I believe. Double-sided puff tape is always good. Sticky puff tape. All right, our card is sealed. It's ready to go. And when someone pulls it out of the envelope, all they have to do is turn on the switch. And the birthday candle lights up. I don't know, again, I don't know if you can see that, so I'm gonna bring it nice and close. So all that the person will have to do is turn on the switch and their candle will light up. That's ready to go inside the card. Oh, what a nice surprise. What a nice birthday surprise this will be. You might need a little help from an adult for this part. This is a little tricky because the card got very bulky. You can seal your card up. Put a little tape on the back. And what a fun birthday surprise that is. And we'll pretend this card is going to Oliver. And that Oliver's turning 1. Happy birthday, Oliver. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that activity, and I'll see you next time on Spontaneous Creations. Remember, be spontaneous, be creative, and have some fun. All right, bye-bye. I'm off to a little birthday party. I don't know about you. Well, a pretend birthday party. See you next time.